Vamos con la siguiente misión.
Our army is growing like crazy thanks to you, boss. In fact, it's getting downright crowded around here. To bring a greater number of people on board, we'll need to expand our facilities. To that end, I've created a base development unit. It has two roles, material refinement and platform construction. I'll start with the material refinement part. The base development unit procures material resources on a regular basis according to its level. The materials are stored in containers and placed on the deck of Mother Base. Once they're finished being processed, they can finally be put to use. By using these materials to build new platforms, we'll be able to add a greater number of staff to our ranks. We don't need any specific instructions from you to refine the materials, but I want you to be the one to decide how we construct platforms. Once we have sufficient GMP and the required material resources, you can issue construction orders from your iDroid.
¿Cuánta gente?
Prolonged time in the field is bad for the body and mind. I think it's time you took a break. Do it for me. Come back to Mother Base ASAP.
Come back.
Mira, mi Shusho. ¿Qué pasa, Didi?
This is the dog you brought back. Bit of a troublemaker. Not sure about the breed, though. He'll get bigger? Uh-huh. Like this. You know, I can look after him. He's still a pup, so he doesn't listen. I have a feeling someday he'll be useful. I suspect you discovered a real diamond in the rough. With a little polish, I'd say we got a true diamond dog on our hands.
Ahí va, tiene el mismo ojo que yo y todo.
DD, right? Oslet raising hounds. Fine.
Qué bueno, tiene hasta el ojo tuerto.
Come on, Didi.
Pues sí que sirve para todo el droid, hasta para dar fuego. ¿Y este qué pasa? ¿No se lava nunca la cara y la sangre o qué?
Boss, we received a back channel request from Langley. We're to find a piece of new American military hardware that's gone missing in the mountains of Afghanistan. It's a difficult mission, but I'd say you're back in top form by now. Check your iDroid for the details.
Bueno, ahora parece que empiezan las cosas ya complicadas. Me parece que cuando dais la lucecita es que hay algo que hacer. Vale, aquí me falta material menor, recursos, combustible.
Please specify a project.
Vale, mejorado. El Eli.
Please specify a project.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, pues no, esto es que es... ¿Qué significará el 9? Ahora hay 3. Ah, vale, vale.
Please
Vale.
specify a project.
Vale, pues si restringe. Un momento, esto lo dejamos.
Please specify a project.
¿Y por qué no? ¿Y cómo se lo pongo al caballito? Bueno, vamos a ver. Lista de misiones.
Please select a mission.
¿Y dónde está la misión que me ha dicho? Siendo disponibles. Ah, vale, vale. Ahora empieza a entender. O sea que dentro de una zona tengo que ver la cantidad que hay de misiones. Aparte de la principal, tengo un par o 3, en este caso tengo 4, que serían alternativas y que no he hecho. 2 de 6, o sea que me faltan 4. Destruir el transmisor del puesto de comunicaciones al este, extraído 2 prisioneros. Vale, vale, muy bien, muy bien. O sea que hay que recorrer toda la zona que nos asignan para la misión. Vale. A ver. ¿Qué es esto? Debilidad del hombre de fuego.
Snake, I wanted to ask you about the man on fire. What do you remember from the hospital? Anything we can use?
Well, he took off the moment the sprinklers started up.
Sprinklers? The fire system?
And when he got sprayed with water from the burst pipe, it slowed him down.
When we escaped on horseback, he wouldn't cross the river either.
And then it started to rain. And he disappeared.
Water against fire. Is it that simple? I mean, it makes sense. It's just hard to believe it would work on a guy like that.
Pues sí. Pero es cierto.
You were hospitalized in Dekelia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain.
Why Dekelia?
The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto.
Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy?
Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead.
He said I was in a British military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent.
They hire locally. Easier to trust them. Dekelia is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all. What about the Turks?
Yes, yes.
They haven't returned to the south. Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN
The
is
pipes, huh? They're strong enough. Could make for a nice shortcut.
part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another
mira qué
reason
bien.
it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around. So how do things stand? Last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state, though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America, they all had their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like debt, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames, and then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different. You're up.
We're changing ships.
We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler.
The Suez Canal. When did they reopen it?
Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand?
Pues no sé dónde tengo que
We're
ir.
going to transfer to a container ship for passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There, we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road.
And then?
We continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge down the mountains for ambushes. The Soviets still haven't devised a counter strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need. It's gonna be a tough march.
Better horses than boats.
Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
Pues la verdad es que no tengo idea.
While
Lo
the
que pasa
Soviets have
que
indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes. The United States...
If we're going to expand Mother Base, we need more manpower. And not just for combat roles either. R&D, the support unit, intel, each demands a different set of skills. If we want to achieve what we've set out to do, Diamond Dogs has got to get stronger. There's a Soviet engineer I want to have join us. He was the one who built your prosthesis. With him on our side,
¿Y dónde está el
who knows
centro de
what sort of
comandos
enhancements
aéreos?
he'll come up with for it. He tried to defect but didn't make it, and now he's being held prisoner at Waksin Barracks. Find this engineer and get him out. Having him on our R&D team will go a long way to helping Diamond Dogs grow.
We need more medicinal plants, boss. Boss!